From the frying pan to the fire, it's the finest in wild game recipes with Fresh from the Field, featuring Chef Scott Lasaf.
One of my favorite things to do in Louisiana is to eat oysters. Well, imagine how great it would be if you combine a seasoned duck breast that's been lightly pounded and oysters and prosciutto, an Italian dried ham. The bigger ducks you want to pound lightly. It's going to tenderize them a little bit. It's going to make them of equal thickness so that they cook relatively quickly. All right, lightly pounded. Now I'm going to season them. Into this container, I have salt, pepper. Very simple so far. I'm gonna put a little olive oil on it. It's just one of those things that I do when I'm cooking duck breast. Now I'm gonna season the oysters. These oysters have been freshly shucked. This is a smallish size oyster. Garlic salt, parsley, fresh lemon juice. Don't use the stuff in the bottle with a perfectly good Louisiana fresh oyster. Give that a toss. That's gonna season the oysters. Start with a duck breast, a pounded, seasoned piece of duck breast, and an oyster, and you wrap the whole thing up. And you do it again. One more time, wrap it up. If your prosciutto is too thin, you can always double wrap the prosciutto. It'll help keep it together when it goes onto a skewer. Take a wooden skewer, give it a stab. I like to serve them as an appetizer. They go from here to the grill. A good, hot, well-lubricated grill. As soon as that prosciutto is just lightly browned on the outside, these guys are done. This is the Louisiana Oyster Prosciutto Duck Wrap.
For a closer look at this and additional wild game recipes from Scott Lasaf, go to the Ducks Unlimited website at ducks.org/recipes. Bon appetit.
With Jerry Holden called away to other duties, Cameron Parish chapter head Greg Wicke joins us in the blind. Greg has been a vital grassroots force for DU for more than 15 years.
Okay, guys, here we are again.
And this year, they're reestablishing their chapter after missing a couple of years because of the devastation of Hurricane Rita.
Switch is on. Now, people have been busy doing other things, trying to get their lives back together. Basically, my parish was probably, the lower part of our parish was probably 90% destroyed. The schools were destroyed, homes were destroyed, people are displaced. Personally, I lost my home, all my kinfolk lost their home, my wife lost her school where she was teaching. I had 3 banks that I was operating in the lower part. They're all gone. So we were all gypsies for the last year, basically, till we got back on our feet.
Just waiting for the alarm to go off. See where they're at. This little north wind sure feels good.
I'd love to see 3 right there when it goes off.
Greg, you hunt out of pits like this?
Yes, sir. I have both. I have both pits and I have stand blinds.
Yeah.
You'd hate to spend a days on a pit blind not be in the right spot, so I usually put a platform blind down for a year or so to make sure that's the right spot.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Hey.
Shooting time.
I know what that means.
We're ready.
That's a Captain Sammy Walsh right there. Come on now. Here we go.
A little better.
Here we go.
There's one over there. Look.
They'll fall.
You know, when you talk to somebody like Greg, or Greg specifically, he's from this area. He and his family are not going to leave here. He is a South Louisianan, and he's going to stay one. And part of this recovery effort, for him, I think, and for his neighbors, is the reestablishment of this Ducks Unlimited project, this Cameron Parish chapter. You know, life will never be the same here along this coast for people like Greg. But they want to get back as close as they can. They know that another hurricane could come along next year and wreak the same kind of devastation.
Good shot. I shot him dead duck.
But they're going to hang in here. They're tough people. They love their area. Marsh water gets in their blood. They're going to stay South Louisianans, and part of that process is to get back to Ducks Unlimited and get back to that local banquet, doing what they can to ensure that the marshes are going to be there and the birds are going to come every year.
Pintails. Take them.
All right.
I'm glad to see DU come down to Louisiana. I like to see projects done down here. You know, attention to Louisiana is what Louisiana needs right now, so I'm glad to see Wade come down here today.
The Prince of the Marsh.
Ain't to tell you.
It's hard to overstate how important these wetlands are, not only to waterfowl, but to all animals, humans included. These wetlands have to be protected. DU is doing its part through the Louisiana Coastal Conservation Initiative. The bottom line is simple. More habitat on the ground means more birds in the sky.
There's my passion for Ducks Unlimited right there. And you know, when I look in the mirror every day, when I'm shaving, it just reminds me of what I'm doing. I work for the greatest conservation organization ever created on the face of the earth, doing the right things for the ducks. And if we weren't, I'd be working for whoever won. I'd be on the #1 team doing the right things for the ducks. And that's Ducks Unlimited, and I couldn't be happy. Don't tell them, but I'd work for half of what they pay to get to work for Ducks Unlimited.